Well, it's about time to start the week.
Yeah, so this week we are going to install these conduits inside the walls.
Yeah, it seems really easy, right? But it's actually really tricky. It's like a huge puzzle. So let's get started. I'm Duca.
And I'm Roberta.
And together we are building our own time shipping container house.
So don't forget to subscribe.
And to join us every Monday for a new episode. I think we should be quick because we are late.
Yeah, today
is Wednesday and we didn't do nothing yet. But you know what's the reason? Because we thought it was easier than it is, so we needed to go back and study a lot of electrical, dimension, how do you say? Dimension, yeah, how to dimension the amount of wires and the amount of wires and the amount of circuits and all that, theoretical stuff, but
and
it's practical.
Go to stores.
And go to stores and go back to university, like get the notes and be like,
so
that's the mess. Look at this.
So we have been studying this for 2 days.
We have been like drawing, all kinds of drawings, conduit drawings, and then neutral, and then power wiring, and how to turn on the lights, the amount of.
You don't need to see all these notes. That's just like boring, but it's just a lot of conduits and a lot of different ways the conduits need to go because of the amount of wiring. And the reason for that is because we decided to do on grid. That means we have 220 volts. In this way we need to have thicker wiring instead of if it was like 12 volts. So let's stop talking and let's start trying to put, we're going to start by trying to put together the west container. That's the room, the bedroom, and the office.
It's easier because the other side we have some specific wiring, so it's harder.
Yeah, basically the kitchen we have a lot more power, a lot more energy than the bedroom and the office, so we're going to start by the easy one. Let's get going. It's pretty good actually.
I guess I need to participate now.
Driving up north on the Trans-Canada Highway. The night is sweet, 1,000 stars.
So the idea is to run a line inside of each conduit.
To make sure when we run the lines, we have already like a guide to, to pull the lines.
The night is sweet, 1,000 stars. Should I stay with you? I know. Should I stay for more? Should I stay with you? I know.
Yeah. One more.
Don't wanna leave.
That's pretty cool.
So next step.
What we need to do when we get this tip is first take the tape off so it can work. So basically what we do is we get this tape and we do this. Now we can guarantee that the guide is here and we can take this. Now all we have inside is the guideline. We cut the guideline. So now, whenever we want to run a cable here, wiring, we just put the wire on this one and we can pull the wire without any trouble. That's pretty good.
Should I stay for more? Should I stay with you? I know now.
That's pretty good.
Don't wanna leave anymore. I wanna build a home.
How it's gonna be.
So now that we finish all these conduits for this part of the house, I think we can give you a tour. Look at that. This the whole house is divided in two parts. We always talk about that. I don't know if you noticed, but we always talk about the west part of the house, that's this, and the east part, that's this. The west part is just bedroom and office. That means we don't have that much lighting going on. Light. Yeah, so basically we have two systems. That's basically outlets and light. Two circuits. These circuits come from this conduit, from this side of the house, because the main switch box, lighting box, is gonna be on this part of the house, and we're gonna install on next to the seat. Here's the table. Next to the seat is gonna be a big box with all the light switches and cables and wiring, the whole thing. So this is gonna go up to here, and this is gonna come to here. That means 5 cables, 5 wires that are from 2 different circuits. And these will come to here, to this box. This box is gonna be located on a cabinet on the entry part of the house. And when it comes to here, this is gonna split the two systems. So basically, this bottom one, I don't know if you can notice, you can see, but there is 2 parallel lines, right? So the bottom line is the light system. So basically, it's a straight line, and whenever we have a ceiling light, there will be a box here. So the wire comes to the box, goes this way and up to the light. Straight to the box, this way and to the light. Same thing here. And then keep going, because we're going to have another switch here, so we can switch off the light of the bedroom when we are on the bed. So we have 2 switches, one there and the other one here. So basically all the switches for 5 lights, they're all going to be here next to the cabinet. When you arrive in the house, there is a cabinet, and next to it you have 5 switches. So light, check. Now outlets. All the outlets come from here, and through this top conduit goes straight to a box, up 1 outlet, 2 outlets. Straight to another box, up another 2 outlets. Probably it's gonna go up, we're gonna have 2 outlets on the top, that we explain later, we don't need to talk about it now. And then straight all the way around to here, and we're gonna have 2 outlets here, 2 there, and 2 there. And all these we're gonna probably do inside of the cabinet around the bed, so we don't need to do it now.
So let's go to that.
So now the challenge is to draw this entire wiring and conduits and the whole thing, because it's just a mess. Because here we have a lot more things going on, a lot more energy, a lot more machines, in like washing machine and electrical shower and stove, cooktop, and the whole thing. So that's gonna be a lot more confusing, and we didn't do it yet. We're gonna plan right now. So leave the camera and let's work. Well, for today, that's it. We're not sure what's gonna be next. We're gonna go home, rest a little bit, have some dinner, and then we're gonna reflect about all this mess. And we're gonna decide if we keep going or if we do a different way that we have an idea. But we can talk about that tomorrow. See you guys tomorrow.
Well, after some good sleep.
And a lot of thinking, because the best time to think is when you lay down on bed and you try to sleep and you cannot sleep because you just keep thinking about what you need to do.
His case.
Yeah, let's try to be, how do I say, like quick? Yeah, never quick. Yeah, we have way too many conduits on this part of the house. It's gonna be a huge mess. If we install every single conduit inside of the wall, I don't know if we can fit. It's just too many wiring to go inside.
Yeah, so let's explain the solution.
The way the wire is gonna get to here from outside of the house is through the floor. So we're gonna have a hole here and the main cable comes through here, right?
Yeah.
From here we have
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
we have 9. So basically from here we have 9 circuits to this part of the house and 2 on the other part of the house that you already saw. These 9 circuits are divided in 2 parts. One is kitchen and dining, and the other one is storage and bathroom. Storage and bathroom we have 4 circuits, so that we're just gonna run one huge conduit back there, and then from there we split. The other 5 we are gonna do some of them in the wall, some of them we're gonna have a shaft. The idea is this: the box is gonna be here, right? And then we're gonna build a shaft like this underneath of the table that will come around here, and all the way back to the bathroom. So basically, all the big conduit will come straight on this shaft to the bathroom. In the kitchen, some of the wiring are gonna come through the shaft, and some of the wire are gonna go through the walls. Mainly the walls are gonna be for lighting, because you know we need to get to the ceiling, so we need to go through the walls. So here's the shipping container, here's the table. So I don't know if you can understand. So that's the table. These are both seats. This is a seat and this is another seat. Here's the main box, and the shaft is gonna go underneath around like this. So that's a huge shaft, and we are going to have a lot of outlets on the kitchen, so that means we're going to have another shaft on the side of the seat, so you know you can bring wires here, and then you can have an outlet here, and the freezer is going to be here, and we're going to have the stove and everything, so that all
The fridge, actually.
yeah, the fridge. So all this wiring for the kitchen are going to be on the cabinets to make it easier. Here is the bathroom, so the shaft is gonna get to the bathroom, and from here in the future we can wire all this part, and the shaft is gonna run to the storage place, and then we're gonna have a light, and we can have switches, and we can have outlets.
I think that's it, right?
And we also want to thank our new patron.
So thanks a lot, Dennis.
Thanks so much, Dennis. We really appreciate that. And what else? Next week, what are you gonna do next week?
Next week, we are gonna start putting the panels on the walls.
Yeah, that's what we hope. I think it's gonna take a while until we install all the panels. It's gonna be really tricky, but we hope we start at least by next week.
Yeah.
Because we're really curious to start the inside part of the house. I know you guys are also. You always leave messages saying you should start the inside.
Yeah.
But, you know, there are a lot of things we need to do before that. But let's stop rambling.
Yeah, we are getting there.
Yeah.
So
See you guys next week. Because there's gonna be the bed, and next to the bed, yeah, that's the house next to here.